spoke against that part, and I wasn't
I
live.
will refrain. You have my word. I will refrain.
Yo, Jorge, double check if your mic is working.
Please,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's like
know.
a wasted night right there of content.
Yo, John, do you know if it was only
There's no
his
need to
audio?
double check. The reason it happened
Could
is
you
because
hear our
my
audio?
fucking Wi-Fi cut out, and that cut out the
Can't
mic.
even hear you.
No, I was saying, do you know if it was just his audio or was it
Yeah,
all of our
bro.
audio?
Yeah, no, it was just his. We were talking. It honestly sounded like me and you were having a conversation with each other, and he was just kind of sitting there. Just kind
Mm.
of, I mean, I don't know if you recorded it, but all that content is gone, like for clips and shit. And that's why I was like, damn, that was a great conversation. When me and you we were literally were like fake beefing, bro. I was telling you to start yelling at me for content for views, and like it sounded like I was winning like insanely because you weren't even responding.
Or it sounded like you're schizophrenic and just answering questions that come out of nowhere.
Yo, definitely that too, for sure. I was talking to a wall,
Am I live right now?
having a conversation with myself.
Here, I can check. I'll pull it up on my
Yeah, no, you're live. You're live. It says you're live on Twitch and Twitch.
Am I live on TikTok?
That's the important one. TikTok's the real one.
Yeah, honestly, yep. Looks like I am.
You're live on Twitch and Twitch.
Alrighty.
What's going on, chat? It's Mr. Beast here. I'm gonna go give 5,000 porcupines the biggest fucking nut they've ever gotten in their life.
Okay.
$1
What is this guy
million.
talking about? What is going on?
For $1 million, I'm gonna do that.
And this horse was dancing.
yeah, I can see that you're on live. Yeah, and I can hear you.
Yeah, I can see it.
Alright, yeah, I feel like as far as structure goes for this, like I think we have a bunch of ideas, and trust me, none of these ideas are not things that I've considered before, but it's one thing to have ideas and it's another to like implement all of them and execute on them. And so yeah, we can try some new things, implement things here and there, like let's pick some topics to talk about, this and that and blah blah blah, and move on in that fashion.
Things of that nature.
But
Well, I think
that's
we
pretty
have
much
two
where
good
we're
topics
at.
to start with. Number one is the Olympics and Imani Khalifa, the boxer that's being accused of being trans, and then
How do you get accused of being trans?
Yo
Like,
guys,
you
I'm gonna name this segment "Countdown to Getting Canceled." Like that's a good name for it. Let's go.
it should be like 3 idiots and a mic. That'd be a tough name for a
It is
podcast.
in the mic. Nah, that's bad marketing or
That'd be
bad
such
PR. That's bad
That'd be
PR.
such a good name for a podcast. I would watch that shit. 3 idiots.
I agree with you. I think it would be a good name for a podcast.
Yeah, but it's bad PR. Actually, maybe not.
People will laugh
It's not
at
bad PR.
Yeah. I take that back. I take that back.
I got
Well, maybe that can be a different segment that we do.
George, let me. I mean, you said you're not online like that. You're like, let me explain something about the internet. There's a reason why the stupidest of the dumbest people go viral is because people just want to be entertained. Like,
I'm aware, John, but like I'm like I literally created this channel. I created this channel for a specific purpose, and the purpose wasn't to like get a bunch of views overnight. It was for it to be a part of a larger network, and this is just the easiest one to do currently with my schedule. And so if I can tackle one thing, at least I'm gonna do that.
No, what I'm saying is entertain. So whatever realm you're in. So that's what I'm saying. People want to be entertained listening to.
I'm aware that people want to be entertained.
Trans talk. You know what I mean? Like they want to be entertained listening to fucking people talk about light bulbs. Like that. They just want to be entertained, regardless of what you do. I'm not telling you have to fucking talk about like Mr. Beast and shit, but whatever you end up doing, they just want to be. They want to be entertained. Let's be real.
Indeed, they do. Yo, what's up,
Hey,
Logan?
nigga. Oh, this guy Logan, always hopping
Yo, Logie is here, bro. Logie is
Logi's
on.
Logi's a faithful viewer.
Yo, Logie, if you ever get a girlfriend, bro, you gonna be a loyal motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you that. You gonna love
Logie, I
it.
think I owe you a promise. I forget what we said it was. It was something about me ordering everything.
Yeah, we said if we go big, you said you'll order him everything off like the menu of his
BK
favorite
menu.
fast food restaurant, and he
Yeah.
said Burger King. And then I said I would buy him a car. And yeah, that was pretty much it.
I think the BK menu might be a little cheaper if you ask me.
It definitely is. But if we're so big that we have millions, then we can do both easily.
I'm still sticking to my promise. I'm only buying the BK menu. You can get a car.
Yeah, sure. He said I'm always here. Yo, Logie, how's our sound? Can you hear Durr and not John? Guys, sound check. He said good. Alright, bet. Say less. We're back on Helldivers chat. We're back on Helldivers.
Get it.
It's an interesting loadout I picked today. Anyway, our topics for the day is apparently some... Dara, what's our topic?
So we have two. We have Imani Khalifa, the woman boxer who just beat Italy in the Olympics, and people are accusing her of being trans because she got the hand. And then
Yeah, that was a bar.
we got, yeah, it was. And then we got scamming and the ethics of that. And is it being promoted to kids to find a way to scam, or is it just something that people are finding a way to do it because of modern technology and people haven't caught up?
Alright, well, so do you want to like give us some more background on like the boxer stuff? Like, so I think this dynamic is good because I'm never online and Dara and John are, so they can like fill me in and we can discuss our viewpoints on the topic. Alright, so like from what I understand, she's a boxer from Algeria or something. Where?
Yeah, from Algeria.
Where the fuck is Algeria, bro?
Chad, where's Algeria?
Okay.
North
It's in
Africa.
North
Okay.
Africa, you illiterate fuck.
I
Is that
mean,
like
bro,
up in the fucking mountains by Iran or something?
I took like 2 years of geography, once in 8th grade and once
I think
sophomore
Algeria
year.
is Algeria is the largest country in Africa as well, by land mass.
African. Oh
Rip.
shit.
Yeah. But it's considered part of the Middle East the same way that
Colonization, what are you
like
gonna
Egypt, Morocco, Lebanon. Oh, sorry, not Lebanon. Libya. So it's a part of the Middle East. Like Algerians speak Arabic, but they're on the northern part of the continent. So she's a cis woman as far as everybody knows. On her birth certificate and her passport, she's registered as female, but she came through with this the Olympics this year, and what the backstory behind that is a year or two ago she competed in some fights leading up to her going into the Olympics, where her levels of testosterone were higher. In the moment, she was never disqualified for it, even though she had a higher level of testosterone than any of the other competitors. But they weren't able to determine that it was anything that was caused through steroid use. Now the Olympics roll around, and she beat the brakes off of the Italian representative for their country in boxing. Like it was less than a minute. Hit her with a 4-piece and a soda. Ba, 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 ba. And
I just feel like just from hearing this part of the story, I'm like, I'm not getting any red flags. Like personally, I'm like,
So here's the issue. She walked the floor with Italy, beat her in under a minute. The Italian boxing representative, like the woman who's competing, she said that she's never been hit harder ever in her life.
that's
All
tough.
around,
That's tough.
Wait.
Down.
Wait, is this barefoot? Is this like barefoot boxing, like MMA type shit? Because I think I might have seen a video about this.
What the hell is barefoot boxing?
Well, you got the fucking ones with the shoes where you got the
Is
fucking
tight.
gloves on, and you got the. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're like a fight head.
Right. He's like,
All right, yo,
you better
yo,
say it right.
Yo, let me
You mean
not
bare
get
knuckle?
let me not get punched in the face real quick. Yo, so what's the true call? There's one boxing where you got the big fucking gloves, and then you got like you're gonna fucking cook some chicken, and the other one you got the fucking little ones like you're about to go to the gym and lift, like those type shits. Right?
Bare
There's
knuckle.
John, I know exactly what you're
knuckle.
talking about.
Bare
Like,
knuckle
like,
boxing,
like, literally,
when you're
yeah,
not wearing
yeah.
anything, and it's just like you. Yeah, no. Bare knuckle boxing isn't a sport. It's an American league. That's different. We're talking about
Yeah, but MMA is damn near bare knuckle. That's like
yeah,
gray,
those are 4-ounce gloves.
See, yeah, he doesn't
I
know
think
the
it is.
ounce of the gloves, Daher. He's like, there's
That's
the
like-
regular boxing and like the small ring with the fat gloves, and then there's the octagon MMA stuff.
16-ounce gloves, and there's 4 ounce. Yeah, 4 ounces is basically zero, bro. Honestly.
Yeah, 4 ounces is
That's
nothing.
me.
But that's only in MMA. In boxing, you're either going to do 12 or 10 ounces. Yeah, if you're an amateur or an exhibitionist, you might get away with 16 ounces.
Or a woman, right? Don't women do 16?
No, I think they do the same ounce gloves.
Oh damn,
I mean-
they don't like that. Oh shit.
Yeah. So this woman, Imani Khalifa, she got accused for having higher levels of testosterone before the Olympics, before she ever was even in the Olympic tryout. This was an accusation that she received. And then she beat the brakes off of the Italian representative for boxing. She broke down in the ring, and a bunch of people like went back and looked at her past, and because of her elevated level of testosterone, they accused her of being trans and fighting against cis women. And the thing that's fucked is there's no evidence of her being trans. She's born in Algeria. They don't even have laws protecting like
Oh,
gay
shit.
rights. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that Algeria is going to be like, oh, cool, let's go find somebody who was born a male, say that she was a female on her passport and all of her other documentation submitted to the Olympic Committee, and then go send her. You know what I mean? Like, they're not
You
as
know,
progressive.
you know, I'm thinking something right now that I think we gotta look more into this stuff, because if you look at Brittany Griner, bro, sometimes I don't know about that motherfucker, bro. Like sometimes you ever hear Brittany Griner talking, dog? You ever hear that person talking? Like, I feel like maybe where George is at with the voice level, maybe we're somewhere around there, and that's where I'm like, I don't fucking know. So the fact that the United States allows many of Brittany Griner's, a lot of Brittany Griner's over there in the WNBA. Why are they so butthurt about this fucking this possible trans, maybe not trans, somewhere around there, high testosterone, probably not a good nurturer type girl? Like, why?
Probably not.
Where do you throw that last one in there?
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
hilarious.
I want to hear you guys take, but that was a good point.
Yo,
Why do they care
I have to
indeed?
disagree.
Why do they care indeed, right? Like, there are dominant female competitors in other sports. Why is this one of any particular, like, scrutiny, right? Like, why are we focusing on this so
that's
much?
the fuck
Cause
I think
some
combat
girl got
sports
robbed.
is different.
Like,
Exactly.
I think combat sports are different. Like, you can't put combat sports on the same level as
okay,
track
but
and field.
do you know
or like
there's this WNBA player, I forget her name, but she's been getting a lot of attention online. She's like 6'8", like, she's massive, bro, and she has like thick legs. Like, if she like trained to fight, she would demolish like 90% of the competition, bro. Like, there probably wouldn't be competition for her. No one would be in her weight class to be able to like handle her. She
Yeah.
just so happens doesn't do boxing, like, because basketball is more lucrative. But if boxing was, she might be a boxer and she might be making these girls cry. Like, that's tough.
Bro.
Like,
Yo, Dirk,
Yeah, but it's
Dirk,
also-
don't hate me, bro. Don't hate me, bro. That's what I'm about to say. But boxing, they get fucked with the money. Like, unless you're like a prize fighter, Like some of these
Yeah.
boxers, they'll be putting their lives, especially MMA, they'll be putting their lives on the line and make like fucking like 40K for like
Yeah.
going to fight to the death, basically, damn near.
Yeah, they're pretty much
And that money gets
gladiators.
split as well. Like you got taxes,
Without the
you got
pokey-pokies.
manager fees, you got gym fees, paying training partners. Because people don't realize this when you're in a fight camp, you're not keeping 100% of that
Yo,
money. You have
K-Son?
to pay all the
K-Son, what's
people
up,
who
Keeping damn near 10-20% of that shit after everything. You walk out with fucking like $10. You know, you get
yeah.
pay 40K, you come out with like fucking
But, dude,
100.
but the truth of the matter is the best women fighters on the planet unfortunately don't compare to some of the most average male fighters on the planet. One of my favorite fighters is Amanda Nunes. She's a woman who trains out of American Top Team in Florida. The best
No,
women
she's
fighters
talking about.
ever. Yeah, the best female fighters ever exist. 2 division champion. Has beaten everybody who's been a legend. Like every single legend that's been in women's MMA, she's beaten. But
That's a good
she
stat.
trains at an American Top Team. She trains at American Top Team, which is one of the best gyms in the world. And she gets manhandled by some guys who are not even on the roster. Like dudes who are not top 15 in the world. You know, like it's
Can I-
just different. Like,
Can I get canceled real quick? Can I get canceled real quick?
Get canceled,
figure out
Joey.
I might get a
Yeah. No, unless it's like fucking shooting or like playing frisbee or some shit. I don't think that like the WNBA, kind of a joke a little bit. Like that's why they barely get paid anything because nobody watches that shit. They can't dunk and it's boring.
Some can
and
dunk.
If they played against
The vast majorities can't dunk.
Okay, when I speak, I talk about the vast majority. Sometimes
Fair
it's an
enough.
outlier.
Fair enough.
But the thing is, I just don't understand why people think that men and women.
Actually, I don't know if the
sports are
vast
in
majority
the same
can't dunk.
league. The vast majority can't dunk. I know that for a fact, bro.
Well, there you go.
They do
You
layups
heard
in
it
the
here
game.
first.
They had a stat. That was like fucking like in one season, bro. They had like 150 dunks in one season.
Yo, Logie, that's hilarious.
I'm like,
Logie
whoa.
Logie said Logan Paul is the best girl boxer, but still not the best.
Yo, why is he right though? Why is he right? This dude's he has one
My
and he
man's
is.
cooking. No, I mean, I think when it comes to
No.
things that are not, I think one of the things that don't come to like sports that have an effect with your physical harm, I don't see it being the same. Like, I don't think it's different for a male Olympian to compete against a female Olympian if they're doing like ping pong or tennis, things that are not going to actually like impact your health. And maybe it's skill based. No matter how good I get at tennis, Serena Williams is going to be better than me. Or even the average female tennis player is going to be better than me. But when it comes to like actual physical consequences, boxing, kickboxing, football, MMA, like those things, I feel like you have to separate because there's so many genetic differences that just make us different for combat that don't make us different for skill-based games.
Yeah,
Wait, say that
I mean,
again?
sure.
You cut out. Wait, say that one more time.
He's like the separation in the gender of like combat sports is justified because the
So
like
physical contact
biological
sports, 'cause
physical
same thing
contact,
with
sure.
football.
No, I
Football,
think
right, like-
I think it's all sports. I think in every sport.
No, I don't think so.
No, they did a not a study, but they tried
Archery?
it out. They put literally fucking United like States professional women's soccer players up against like very good high school men soccer players. Soccer players, the high school men, they fucked up the girls because they just have so much more physicality, speed, quickness, and all the extra stuff that you need to be a good athlete. It's like not saying anything bad about a woman, but it just is what it is.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I
women
think,
are
like-
just physically not superior to inferior to men's physically.
I wouldn't put it that way, but yes, on the saying inferior is crazy. Saying inferior like might be technically right, but it's
Physically inferior. From a human rights perspective, of course, equal. But from a physical point, we're talking
This
like
is fair. This is fair. This is fair.
fuck it, cancel me. I don't give a fuck.
No, this is fair. This is fair. This is
What, am I
science.
gonna lose
This
my
is
car?
science. This is science.
I don't think the
Am I lose my
consequences
fucking
are the same.
house? What?
Like, I don't think the consequences are the same. Like, if I run track against somebody who's like identified as a woman, I'm not gonna physically hurt them from doing that. I think it'd be fair if you really want to prove yourself against men, go for it.
But like to John's point about
Also-
soccer, like it's like, why are you trying to watch that if it's like one side is like gonna overwhelmingly win a lot of the times because of their physical advantages on average?
Yeah, but you don't necessarily have to have it be one side versus the other. You can have somebody who's a nasty goalkeeper, but the rest of the team might be made out of dudes, right? Or like somebody who's a nasty forward. Or if it's like we're talking about like
What if?
track.
I get it
Somebody
for
who's nasty
a field
before.
goal kicker is probably the only place I would put that in. If you're like a woman field goal
What
kicker.
if you like
But
mixed
then
it,
again, you about to
guys?
get rocked one
What
day.
if
You about to
you
get rocked.
mixed it and it was like girls can be on the same team as boys, and
That's what
that's
I'm
just the
saying.
case,
I think
and
that's-
like you just like
that's different.
test
right.
people by like their like skill to make the team.
You can't do that. You can't, because then when they're in the hotel rooms with traveling, they'll just all be fucking each other, and then nobody will get shit done, bro. It won't work. You have so many babies that have come out, so many athlete babies, and they'll have
And then what ends up happening?
You heard it here first. John is not against it because he doesn't think women and men should.
fucking PC community is that
Terry
they
John.
try to just like look away from things that are just so obviously true, like obvious, like literally man
I
and woman
think-
next to each other, same age.
I think
One
there
more
is a-
physically superior.
I think there is a
Physically
camp
superior.
of like the PC culture, we'll call it, that does that. But I also think there's a camp that simply tries to get to the core of things, and refuses to oversimplify things.
But why is
I would like to
there
consider
even a camp
myself.
in the first place, bro? Why
'Cause,
is
like-
why does that camp exist? Like, how many brain cells do you have if you look at a man and a woman and you're like, well, yeah, they can both play fucking soccer the same way, they can play basketball the same way. How dumb are you? Like, do you sit in your fucking house and you don't get outside, you don't see anything? Like,
Yeah, I feel like
Think
part of
you
like a lot of the reason these people get to this point is because we don't engage critically enough. Like they're thinking about it in a very like amorphous, like not really clear way. Like they're not thinking of it from a scientific perspective of, oh yeah, there probably are some women who can play basketball better than men, because there's always outliers within the sexes where like there are some men who just are not as physically gifted, we'll say, right? Obviously, like no one's discounting that, but when people have these conversations, like because they want to hold this virtue of like I like come off as morally correct if I say men and women are the same in like every single way. So I'm gonna like kind of do this straw man where I pull from, oh, if you do this like exact circumstance, then this thing I'm saying is true. But we're speaking about the averages, right? Because that's what matters with a more general conversation.
balance probability. That's what we're talking about. The large majority. There's always outliers with every situation you talk about.
Right.
You can say that somebody's fucking, I don't know, they have green eyes, this percentage of people, and there'll be somebody with fucking red eyes out there. Somebody
Right.
out there has
But that's
red
what I'm
eyes,
saying.
man.
We should have specific
You know what I mean?
conversations, but like
Exactly.
people usually don't do that.
I don't know, why are people just so like slow nowadays? I just feel like they kind of just follow whatever they see online. Like,
I think we just have too much information out there, bro, and
That's
you
what
can get it
always
from
really
anywhere. Yeah, it's like, yo, you can get any information you want, dude. And people
but
don't have the skills to like,
wrong.
yeah, half of it is wrong, and people don't have the skills to like contend with the information they get.
Like, okay, so there's a camp that says Kamala Harris
Yeah, where's
is
Dirk?
evil.
Kamala Harris is evil. Why is she evil?
There's a camp that says that, and they say that because she put a bunch of minorities away, That's what the camp says for, weed possession, and she's advocating for, like, I don't know. I think she's like advocating for, like, what is it, marijuana legalization now or some shit? I don't know, but she's kind of going against that. There's also a camp that thinks that Trump is a fascist. So
Yeah.
it's like, I just don't understand. I guarantee that both of those things are wrong. Like, I know that is a fact that she did that, but I don't necessarily think she's like the worst person in the world.
Right,
You know what I mean?
'cause
Like,
that would be absurd. Like we can come up with tons of examples of people doing a lot worse things.
Like, she was just doing her job. If I'm being honest, she was doing her job. She was assigned a job. The people, the higher ups, probably said, "This is what you have to do. All right, it's gonna suck." She probably didn't want to do it, but she's following orders, and that's that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people just kind of believe whatever they fucking hear, and they run with it. They run with it until, like,
All
they
right,
spread the misinformation too. They spread the shit across the land.
Logie
And then
right now
the rest
is saying that she won't build the border, and she's gonna cause a bunch of immigrants to get in, and they're going to like there's not gonna be enough food, money, or jobs. This
All right. I hate
this
to
sounds like
say
a
it, bro.
typical Republican talking point, but let's hear it.
I hate to say it, but okay, what do you think about closing the border? You think that's a good thing?
I think. The,
It's like it's so simple. Just
no, it's not that. See, again, stay away from trying to have the simple conversations because that's not how the world works. That's not how the world works.
Let me rephrase the question. Do you think it's a net positive or net negative? On
It's not a
society
matter
to
if it's a net negative or a net positive. It's a matter
Fuck,
of what
no.
are. Yeah, I know you can't. It
No,
can't
I
be
need to
that
answer
simple.
it.
I'm sorry. It's not a matter of net positive or net negative. See, like
People-
people are
you know
leaving
what's
because they don't
crazy?
want to hear that. They're like, nah, like you're not telling me like the fucking spicy nonsense. Like I'm not gonna give you spicy nonsense, bro. I'm
No,
gonna give you
but the
spicy nonsense.
crazy part is, I think it's when people talk about the border, there's a little bit of racism involved in that, because when people talk about the border and closing it, a lot of people think like that means that minorities are not allowed to be allowed in. But the big point that people give is it's just not illegal fucking immigrants. So I feel like a lot of people get offended. It's such a touchy topic, which is why I brought it up.
It's a
Because
touchy
people think
topic
that
because
when you say
it's a
close the border,
distraction.
you're saying like any type of immigrant is not allowed in the United States, like every type of immigrant. But I don't know. I think that it's just talking about illegal ones, right?
I mean, that's where the Republican stance on it is like, hey, we don't want illegal immigrants coming into the country because that's the only like palatable way you can have such a policy. Because anything else, you seem xenophobic and or racist. But to that point, I just don't think this conversation is like deserves the attention that it gets. TBH.
I get what you're saying, but so okay, I think I'm not gonna say why, because that'll be kind of doxing you a little bit, but I think I know why you want to keep the borders open, and that makes a lot of sense.
No,
It doesn't-
I can tell you my stance
Is it,
on
is
the
it for why?
border.
Is it for why I think? Is it for
I
why
can tell
think-
you my stance on the border. I haven't
Me and you both
expressed
know
that.
why, but-
Okay, well, anyway,
Jordan's an illegal immigrant.
yeah, no,
Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like the attention that it gets is unwarranted as compared to a lot of the other issues in the country. But also, yeah, we can, like, I'm not talking about like borders or non-borders. Like, we have a system. The system works if we invest in it properly and let the people who are supposed to do their job, who go to school for it, do it. But that's not what we're doing. The politicians are getting their hands involved and like making it a political issue. They're politicizing the issue. Every nation has borders. Perfect. Every nation also has asylum laws. Yep, that's a fact. Okay. How do these asylum laws work? Do you allow certain people in based on like the influx that you can receive? The conversation should be.
Is that what we're talking about? Not John doesn't like immigrants?
Pretty much. The conversation should be is like,
What?
how much can our system receive?
Everyone.
The conversation should be how much can our system receive, and that's it. Not, oh, should people be allowed in or not allowed in? And
Alright, you know what's
again, the
crazy?
conversation
You know what-
doesn't deserve the attention it's getting
I hate to
because
say
it's not
it.
that
Okay,
big of an
so-
issue.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I don't want to be against that. I don't, and I don't think I am. I really don't. I just like to have a conversation. But there was a stream recently, and you know how they catch like the PDFs,
The
they catch the
PDFs.
diddlers. You know
Thank
they
you.
go on stream. Remember our conversation about what we think we should do to the diddlers, and we were talking about the streams where they catch them.
Wait, John, can I just address Logi's point? Logi, there are some people who hold that stance because they hold racist beliefs. For instance, the ones that say like, "Oh, don't let them in because they're gonna like ruin the country and like rape our women and steal our like things and blah blah blah."
Jorge,
Like,
Slice, be
Yeah.
careful about how you say stuff.
I can't say rape.
Yeah,
You have to say grape.
Yeah, you gotta say grape.
G-R-A-P.
That's so stupid. Like, but I'm like talking about rape. Like, why would I say grape when I'm
Well, I
talking
mean,
about?
if you want to
You're
talk about it
challenging-
online, you're gonna get
You're
you're gonna get caught. I'm just trying to help
Even
you
if
out.
you don't get a strike, you'll get shadow banned. They're gonna not push your thing to people.
That's so stupid. That's so
Because
stupid.
of PC culture. Blame that shit, bro. I'm telling you can't speak your mind without being
I don't even
canceled.
know if it's like PC culture as much as it is like corporations not wanting people to talk about issues.
Okay, well, so let's go back to what Logie was saying because he has a comment that I want to address. So, I missed out on the first part. So, Slice, why don't you go ahead and address Logie, and then I want to talk about the comment that he has about Mexico. As somebody who, has some good
Oh,
experience.
facts, yo. This is
by
an
the way-
experience he would
by the
never
way-
be able to get if he wasn't online. This is perfect. This is why we have this channel.
Logie, also,
I'm gonna be right back, by the way.
Slice says,
Alright,
yeah,
word.
go for it. Before Slice says whatever he's gonna say, hey man, I appreciate you being a young dude and having these thoughts, and don't ever feel like it's inappropriate to express them. It's
Agreed
good to
with
be able
her.
to challenge your own. It's good to be able to challenge your own views. So if you feel like whatever you're saying isn't the status quo, still go out there so that you can challenge what your beliefs are, and in those challenges you'll find out what you really value as true or what you value that might not be the case.
Don't
so
tie-
I'll pass it back to.
So to piggyback off Dur's point, don't tie your beliefs or don't tie your identity to your beliefs. All right, like if you believe something, you can always change that belief, and that is the only way we continue to grow as people. Okay, well, back to the whole like immigration thing. Yes, there's a camp that's like, and I think this is a small camp, but there's a camp that's on the side of build a border or secure the borders who are like, hey, it's a practical issue. It's a practical stance to say that our country can only receive so many people because the infrastructure can't handle that burden. And so we should be very intentional about how we allow people into the country, right? Bam, boom, makes sense. Okay. There's the other portion that's like, don't allow them in because they're gonna I'm not saying they're gonna rape or pillage, and they're gonna make the country worse because they come from shithole countries and they're scumbags. That camp I don't necessarily respect because it's just not a argument based in fact. It's an argument based in feelings, and those feelings are racist feelings. Like they just are. Are there criminals in, let's say, Mexico? Yes. Is there crime in Mexico? Yes. Is the crime rate in Mexico more? Yes. Okay. Does that then mean that everyone who comes from Mexico as an immigrant is a criminal? No. Okay. Well, if that's your fear, then create a process to screen these people. Oh, guess what? We already fucking have that. Okay. What else do you want, bro? What else do you want? Like, they're just saying nope, don't let any of them in because they're racist. Like if your stance is, hey, screen the people before they come in, so we make sure we don't get people who want to perpetrate harm in the country. Valid stance. To say build the wall and not let anyone in is racist. Is racist because we have to ask the question, why are you saying that? And it usually comes down to they are evil and they're criminals and they're gonna rape and pillage because they're brown or black or like they come from a shit culture and blah 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 blah, more racist nonsense.
And I wanna piggyback off of that. Fletcher, you mind if I
You got it.
interject, or
You got it.
lift me up to that?
You got it.
So, Logie, I'm actually I'm an American, born there, citizen, but I've lived in Mexico on and off since September, so for a full year at this point, September of last year, where I've been coming here for work, and I've been here for extended periods of time since September. The biggest dangers in Mexico isn't driven because of Mexico. It's driven because of the trade, the illegal trade of fun pills that are available through the U.S. The majority of the most dangerous places in Mexico are on the southern tip where they connect to Central America, and then the northern border where you're hugging the U.S. The reason why the north and the south are dangerous, but the central part of it is very safe, is because the north is where a majority of human smuggling occurs and fun pills are put through. And then in the south is where a lot of migrants come through that are escaping some war-torn places like Venezuela or El Salvador, where they're having issues with gang violence. When you're in the central part of Mexico, where I'm at right now, like Mexico City, it's ridiculously safe. And Mexico has this reputation that it's like a third world country attached to North America. But the truth of it is Mexico of itself produces some of the most amount of goods that get sent to the States. A lot of farming industry happens in the west and the north part of Mexico. A lot of manufacturing occurs. They left a couple of years ago, but Ford manufacturing for cars used to happen here in Mexico City. And what ends up happening is, because of the illicit trade of fun pills that come into the U.S., the northern part of Mexico is riddled with pew dudes, like cartel members, where they have to have a control there. But when you look at Mexico as a whole, it's one of the largest manufacturing hubs in the world, to the point where right now America is looking to rival their trade with China with Mexico, because you can produce goods at a cheaper cost here in Mexico than you could with China, with all the tariffs that are going on. The issue isn't the culture or the fact that there's a lot of criminality. The issue is that there is an environment that the U.S. breeds through their illicit trade that creates certain pockets of danger. And the truth of the matter is the people who live in the South, who have to deal with Central American migrants, will move because they feel unsafe, and then people in the North have to do the same thing because of pew dudes. And that's the real case of it. If there wasn't the same illicit trade routes that came from like Colombia, El Salvador, where all these guys who are making fun pills and have to come through Mexico in order to get it to the U.S., this country wouldn't be in the light of being so criminal. It's a product of America not producing their own fun pills, and then parts of Central America doing that, and parts of Mexico that do that.
All right. Like, I feel like if we're gonna censor ourselves, it shouldn't be around the specific wars. Like, if it means I get shadow banned, fine, but like, I don't think we need to do like fun pills and pew dudes. Like,
they know what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, it makes sense to people who are the audience. I want you to understand that, Logie, because it's common rhetoric, because there's such a a big migrant population of people from Mexico that go to the southern parts of the U.S. And sure, I mean, maybe some of them will slip through, and they're not the most upstanding civilians, but majority of them are just leaving for situations where it's better to have opportunities there where they can send money back. And I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the revolving door system. The revolving door system was this thing where people would come to the U.S., work for about 6 months, a year, up to maybe like 2 years on their visa, and then come back to their family with some money saved up. But with the modern changes in immigration laws, the revolving door makes it more difficult. Like, you can't come into the U.S. and have such accessible visas where people overstay their visas now just because they're like, all right, I'll be stuck in the U.S. for 5 years, and I might overstay my visa for 3 years, but then I can send 3 years worth of wages back to my family. That's what majority of people do. It takes 2 years for any Mexican to get approved for a visa. My buddy's girlfriend is going through that process right now, and she started the process in August of 2023. She's not going to have a meeting for her visa until August of 2025. That's 2 years before they have a visa that gets approved to go visit, not even work, but visit in the U.S.
So that point where he ended on this, speaking to like how long it takes, shows you that we have a system in place to screen people. We do, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's just the people who come here illegally are coming from places that they don't have an option. If you live in the northern part of Mexico, where you live in an area that is high traffic for fun pills and pew-pews and human trafficking, that makes it difficult for you to have to wait 2 years, you know? Say big R like how you said big H.
Yeah. Big R is crazy. But nah, yeah, I feel like there are...
You can, there are good and bad spots. So I see what you're saying. There are good and bad spots in Mexico, but there's good and bad spots in the U.S. as well. There's parts of New York. Oh shit! There's parts of New York that I would not want to go to. There's parts of Chicago that I wouldn't feel comfortable with being in. But that doesn't mean the country in and of itself is the issue. It just means that there's parts of it that have problems that need to be dealt with.
Our viewpoints need to be more complex if we are to like give them any sort of credence. Like, the world is like, I'm sorry, the world is just not as simple as the media portrays it.
100%.
It would be great if things were just simple and these single stories, like this place is like this, and in every case it's like that. Like, no, it doesn't work that way.
No, that's not the case. And you can't deny that the proximity to the United States plays a big factor in the dangers that are there in the north or of the northern parts of Mexico. If Mexico didn't have the proximity to the United States, they wouldn't have the opportunity to have the illicit trade that, you know, right-wing people believe for them to have. It's a proximity issue as well as, it's a proximity issue. Like, they wouldn't be able to make money off of these illicit substances if they weren't so close to the United States. We play a big role in that because
where there's a huge market for it.
Yeah, it's safer for them to be able to produce those things across the border and ship it there than it is for American gangsters to do the same thing back home. Like, and that's why they're in the situation that they're in. It's the issue of proximity to the largest market for human trafficking, fun pills, and pew-pew trade. That's a major factor into why they are in the situation that they're in right now. It's also the reason why you're not going to hear about Spain. Spain's not going to traffic anything to the United States because it's so much more effort because we have to get over a whole ocean. But there's not an ocean that separates us between them. It's just a landmass, and we share it. And that's a major factor into why they're in the situation that they're in. You know? And my personal opinion also is that, one, I think we play a major factor into it, but I also think racism plays a big factor into it. Canada is predominantly white the same way that the U.S. is predominantly white, and they can get away with being a
Logie,
white
the world is a
person.
big place, man. Logie, the world is a big place. There are like millions of towns, bro. There are like with like all kinds of people doing all kinds of things.
Yeah, but also like I think racism plays a big factor into it. It's harder to convince white North Americans, like Canadians or other Americans, that live in relative fortune to take these risks. Whereas when you're living in a country, or like Mexico, by no means isn't a wealthy country. It is a wealthy country. A lot of people don't realize this. It's a very, very wealthy place.
Oh.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup. Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Yo, Dur, you still there?
You have maintained our way of life.
Yo, on chat, we gotta check the Discord. Yo, Dur, can you hear me? You lost Dur, chat. Oh, there
I'm
it
back.
is.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost connection for a quick sec. But yeah, Mexico's a wealthy place. People just don't realize it because of what's depicted of them. But it's a pretty well-off spot. It's not a place that's strapped for cash. Like, their government makes a decent amount. They have a higher GDP than Spain does.
Even if it was, it wouldn't mean that the people coming from there are like bad people or that we should be suspicious of them.
Right. But I think people take on what's happening in the north and parts of the south that make it dangerous and think that that's what the whole place is like, when that's not the case, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the same way that New York City has really dangerous parts. Chicago has really dangerous parts. California, I wouldn't go to Stockton. Stockton's a dangerous place. But that doesn't mean that America as a whole is dangerous. It's a very big country. It's just, it gets demonized by its unfortunate representation through racism, honestly. No one ever thinks about Canada being a dangerous place. No one thinks about America being a dangerous place in a whole, right? But like,
some people think about America being a dangerous place with all the gun violence. Like, that's definitely a reputation we've gotten over the years. But like, it's not like the like overwhelming depiction of us, right? As opposed to these other ones.
Or that
Wait, Dur, it's hard to hear you.
Oh, sorry, I'm a little far from my phone. I was saying that America's a dangerous place, but we don't use that as the identity of the whole country.
Right.
But it has some really dangerous places. Mexico has some really dangerous places. It shouldn't represent the totality of the country. Being somebody who's moved here and lived here for almost a year on and off, that is the case. It's a safe place if you live in safe areas. The same way that if you live in parts of Baltimore, you ain't safe. You know?
Yeah, Logie, just gun violence in general, like gun deaths. Let's just count gun deaths. Be it gun deaths from school shootings, gun deaths from gang violence, gun deaths from cops shooting people, innocent or guilty. I know that's a radical stance. Cops shooting people, innocent or guilty. The gun deaths in America are through the roof, right? That's a problem for society. We shouldn't want that as a civilization. We shouldn't want these many gun deaths. And so one could say, yeah, America's a shithole because you can get shot there way more than like a lot of other places that's similar to America, right? But that wouldn't be a fair depiction of the country because there's more than that. You take that idea, you apply it to any other country, you'll start to see that like these places aren't as simple as people make them out to be in the media.
No, not at all. Not at all. And my experience living here in Mexico City, it's a huge place. It's like I think it has a larger population than New York City. It's massive. I think it is the largest city in the in the Western Hemisphere. It's massive. Rather, I definitely know, maybe not the Western Hemisphere. It's definitely one of the largest cities in North America. And if you go to bad areas, you're gonna run into bad shit. It's just part of it. But if you go to like where I live, it's a pretty safe place. You'll be fine. Same thing with the U.S. You can go to Baltimore and put your life in danger if you went to the wrong neighborhood in Baltimore.
Yo, this man's really letting Baltimore have it.
Same thing with New York. There are parts of New York I wouldn't go to. You know, there's parts of a lot of places I wouldn't go to.
Right.
Because the general sentiment is that area is unsafe because of specific social political issues that cause it to have that danger. The same way that parts of northern Mexico have that because of the fun trade. But that's not the totality of the country. It's not even a representation of it.
Totality is a good word. I feel like people.
Thank you. I've been working on my vocab.
Well, you're crushing it. I feel like people. One concept that I want to bring to the forefront of our channel is like I want to keep returning to words as words as tools, right? Words as tools for understanding the world and engaging with the world. If certain words aren't in our vocabulary, it's difficult for us to perceive the world in that way. And so that's why like it's really impactful sometimes when people use jargon, even though I hate it when it's used in the wrong way, because it gives words to things. And if we can like identify something, it makes it easier for us to talk about it and think about it. So like when people are like, oh, I don't know, Mexicans are like lazy. What's the? I'm not even sure what the stereotypes. See, I'm like out of the loop. What's the stereotypes about Mexicans these days? Like they take our jobs. Like what's wrong with them? They're like our criminals. What are people saying about the Mexicans? Jerry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you hit her more on the head.
But yeah. Anyway, point is, the words help us conceive of our world, and totality like helps you think of things outside of like this single frame. Like makes you have to consider whole pictures. Yeah, but that doesn't make you think Americans are dangerous. It might not make you think that, Logie, but it might make other people think that America is dangerous from the gun violence that they've heard about on the media, in the media.
Logie, I want you to build off of your idea that you're saying about Mexicans. No Mexicans are good workers. I don't know if you missed the comma. Like, I don't know if you were like, no, comma, Mexicans are good workers, or no Mexicans are good workers. So, elaborate more on what you're saying there. Because if we didn't have immigration, the state would not be what it is. It's a society that's super reliant on immigration.
Yep.
So yeah, build off on that. I don't want to represent your idea in the wrong way. So, want to hear what you have to say on that, and don't know if you missed a comma in the wrong spot.
We have a labor hierarchy that requires people at the bottom doing like, you know, the quote unquote dirty
manual
jobs.
labor for very
Yeah, the
cheap.
manual labor for cheap. We have a labor hierarchy in our country, and so we're always going to need people to fill those jobs. And it's easier to get immigrants to fill them because they're not as established in the land.
Right.
That's just a
They also
simple
don't have
fact
the-
of the matter.
They also don't have the same requirements coming from a country to where the economic development isn't the same. Like, if you're an American making like $70,000 to $50,000 a year, you feel poor. You feel like things are stacked against you. But if you're coming from Mexico and you're making $40,000 a year in American dollars, that exchange rate when you're sending money home or coming from the area that you came from, that feels way better. You know, it's
Yeah, and you're used to making do with less, so like you're gonna be more willing to do those jobs anyway. That's why when we talk about the immigration issue too, I feel like one aspect that we never bring up is like, okay, why are people coming here? Sometimes people say it's like to do the jobs. Well, if these jobs weren't the people offering the jobs also want the people to come here to do those jobs. Right, because guess what?
1,000%.
They can pay them less, and it's harder to hire Americans to do those jobs. And so it's in the best interest of the
can't afford to
corporation.
Farmers can't afford to pay American wages for the jobs they require migrants to do. Like, if you had a team of 50 migrants and a team of 50 Americans, it'll be very difficult to turn a profit paying an American who you can't take advantage of, unfortunately, to do that same job. A huge portion of our backbone as a society, which is farming, comes from migrants coming here to work, and then farmers paying them less than what they would pay an American.
Yeah, I think what we should do.
It's an open secret.
I think one thing that we can add to this is like as we discuss some of these.
Breaking up.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Check.
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're
Yeah.
breaking up for a second.
Okay, I think one thing we can add to these segments is like one person be on Google so we can like look up like quick facts about the certain things that we're talking about, like how are immigrants represented in certain industries in the economy.
Sure, yeah, that'll be beneficial. But I mean, we do know that when it comes to labor work, like farming, they're way more represented than Americans are.
Yeah, I would feel safe to go with that. Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, so Logan responded. The Mexicans just didn't work out very well. Mexicans are good workers. Oh yeah, all right. So yeah, you put the comment in the wrong spot.
Yo, can I ask something real quick?
No,
I have no
John's
idea.
back.
I have no idea what we're talking about, but do you think that on a bounce probability Mexicans are harder working than Americans?
Yeah, not even close.
Like on the whole,
Like you take like 100 Mexicans and you take 100 fucking United States people, and you literally put them like side by side, shoulder to shoulder, whatever the fuck you want to do, and like who's a harder worker?
I think it would depend like what like class system they come from.
God.
Yeah, I know. Here I go. It can never be simple. I feel like if you're like working class Mexican, like that's probably tough. I feel like they're really gritty, bro. Like I mean, I have nothing to like back this up, but I'm like, yo, these dudes are in the field, like they're gonna crush it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think no.
Let me
no
ask
matter how
why.
you slice or dice it, I think Americans have laws that protect them to force them to only work 40 hours a week. Like that's like average for most Americans. Some people work more depending on your industry, but knowing, I mean, being here, those aren't the same laws. There are a lot of people here who work 3 jobs, and they probably average closer to like 80 to 90-hour work week.
I used to work 2 jobs and like worked like 11 hours a day, and make shit money. And now I work a lot less and make way more money. Again, labor hierarchy. Labor hierarchy. Labor hierarchy.
Said I make a lot more now. It's like I'm fucking balling.
No, I'm not balling. Fuck, I died.
Well, okay, why do you think Americans are considered to be the laziest?
We're fat, dude.
The laziest country. That when I think of Americans,
People are gonna call me
versus
fat
other
phobic.
countries,
I don't think we're the laziest. Like, we work more than other European countries. I think.
then why is
the law
everything else
that-
cheaper? Like, why when you go over to hire somebody from another country, I mean, like that it's like way cheap. I mean, that's a currency thing, but I feel like the hours are just way more in other countries. Like in Japan,
No, I think it depends on what
even
you're
down
talking-
to the school
it depends on
system.
what you're
In
talking
Japan, they go to school year round.
Yeah, they
Well,
work
Japan
harder
has
than
a
we do.
really
Korea
good
works harder
economy.
than we do. But then if you
And
compare us to France,
The US helped
Spain,
rebuild
they work
them
on
after
average
World War II.
30 to 30. If you compare us to France or Spain, they work about 33 hours a week. That's on average what we're pretty. Yeah, I think for France it's 33, whereas for us the minimum is 40.
How the fuck do you track 33 hours out of all the numbers? Why 33?
I don't know, bro, but that's like their average.
It's insane.
They don't work as hard as we do. In Spain, though, I mean, corporations are different, but if you're working like a mom and pop shop, they have siestas. They go home for like 2 hours a day and just chill. Go home, take a nap, grab lunch, and then come back. Like, no, I think Americans have a very Americans, Koreans, Japanese cultures. They have a toxic relationship with work that make us a little bit different. And I think that plays into what Jorge was about to say with the laziness of Americans. If you're working like 45 hours a week, when you get home, you're just exhausted and you don't want to do anything else. But when you work 30 to 33 hours a week, that gives you the time and
Bro,
the
I'm
freedom
tight.
to go
Yo, bring me
work
back.
out. You know?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I think that Americans we're kind of like spoiled a little bit. I think that
Yo, like full old man
like,
Doug,
next-
full like in the game or in the Discord, like what you talking about? Yo, can you guys see the chat?
Oh yeah,
Wait,
old man
I'm
Doug. What's up, old man Doug? You trying to
Old
hop
man
in?
Doug left.
no, I'm saying like spoiled in the sense of where like a Mexican will just come over and fucking work the jobs that Americans are just too. They think they're too good for.
Wait, say that again?
Like a fucking Mexican will come over and work the job that Americans think they're too good for.
Yeah. I mean, you're correct.
I-
I don't like the way that you said it.
Cancel me.
It sounded kind of wild.
Yeah, these fucking Mexicans will come and work their jobs.
No, not when I say not all, but there are Mexicans that will come over and do that.
John's like, just so you know, I'm not generalizing. That these fucking Mexicans are gonna come here and work their
Some
jobs.
Mexicans are bougie. Some Mexicans are bougie. Some motherfuckers are gritty as fuck, bro.
That's good stuff. It's good stuff.
But I need an answer, so and I don't need some fucking bullshit like fairy tale rainbow answer.
Fairy tale rainbow answer. That's
I need the
that's
real-
that's my. That's how John sees me. That's how John sees me.
I see your answers are fucking weaving and dodging.
They're not
fucking
weaving and diving. They're complex.
Yeah,
they're-
fucking complex.
They're
Yeah.
critical.
I ask you
They're
yes or no.
nuanced.
You're like, well, the probabilities of
So things aren't as simple as yes or no. Sometimes they are, but a lot of the social ones aren't.
Yeah, that's nothing where I agree with, like, things aren't as black and white. Like, you can't
Okay.
give a regular answer to everything.
All right, so,
I think
so are you balling now at your new job then? Yes or no?
I'm not balling at my new job.
Type shit. Type shit. He said, I got it on me.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I think immigrants typically will come to a country that they can make more money in and do more with less. Like, the exchange rate favors them, which is the reason why they want to come down here, come down to the States and work there. Because for every dollar they make, it's 17 pesos back in Mexico. We're going to use them as an example. And if you get paid $5 an hour, which is under the average minimum wage, that's compared to some jobs. If you're a laborer here in Mexico, you can get paid more doing that same thing in the States than you would back here.
Damn.
So why not do it there?
Shit. Nah, Mexico.
Yeah.
I actually have always I mean, I've gone to like the fake parts of Mexico, like Cozumel. You know where Cozumel is?
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's real Mexico. That's like fake touristy bullshit Mexico. I'm trying to see like the real deal. Like we should do an IRL stream. Would you guys be down to do an IRL
John,
stream?
what do you think the real deal looks like?
The real
No.
deal is not fucking all resorts everywhere.
Fair.
Everywhere you look, from as far as that I can see.
Fair.
I mean, where I'm at, it's not like that.
Wait,
I've gone to
no,
some
wait, you're not in Mexico. No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
Fuck, I was trying to help you out. Alright.
What does it matter? No one's gonna find me in Mexico. Dude,
Why not?
I live in. Yeah, I live in the most. I
Dara's
live in
got
one of the most
cartel
affluent
protection.
Yeah. I live in the most.
That was what
affluent
the delivery guy was there for.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I live in the most affluent neighborhood in the
Shit.
city.
John, you're
Yo, let's fuck all the time, please. I'm fucking
but dude,
down, bro.
I've gone to some of the more dangerous neighborhoods. Like I went to one back in September of last year. I went to a really dangerous neighborhood. It was the second most dangerous neighborhood in Mexico City for a boxing fight. And yeah, one of my buddies was fighting, and we didn't realize how dangerous it was.
Hold on. You can't just like skip over that shit. Like, you said your cousin was fighting in the second most dangerous neighborhood in
My buddy, not my cousin, my friend. But yeah,
No relation, no relation.
So,
You just skipped over that shit like it was fucking casual. Yeah, my buddy was just fighting there and then blah blah blah. Oh, you mean like he had a fight?
yeah, like a sanctioned boxing fight.
Oh, I thought you meant he was in the street, like fucking Rockstar hustler.
Oh hell no!
That's why I was like, why'd you skip over that? Okay, sorry, continue.
No, but we went there, and we went to this boxing gym. He competed. We were all making fun of him because he's a gringo. He's like blonde hair, blue-eyed white guy. So we're all like, "Yo, we're not gonna say your name."
I hear blue eyes, so shit.
Like, if you hear the crowd chanting for the other dude, know that we're just saying it for you. But we had a good time. Like everyone was really nice and respectful. But if you go to dangerous places and you do fuck shit, you're gonna find yourself dealing with fuck shit type of people.
No, you know what I feel like? A lot of like violence that happens in the street is between people who are involved in the street. You know what I mean? And I feel like if, as a civilian, like you could get like hit with a stray or some shit like that, but if you're not bothering anybody, you're just kind of doing your own thing. I mean, the chances are just pretty low. That's what I think. I mean, I've walked through some pretty shady neighborhoods and nobody bothered me.
Here's a good example. So there's a neighborhood that borders the area that I live in. It's called Doctores. It's a pretty dangerous neighborhood right now, but it's kind of getting gentrified, but it's still pretty dangerous. And when I first moved here, I was looking at an apartment, and I didn't realize it was deep into Doctores, a bad neighborhood. And we walked in deep, like I'm talking like 30 minutes in, and it went from, a bunch of like vape shops, restaurants, bars to auto body shops, cars missing tires. I don't think all these cars that are being worked on weren't belonging to people, patrons that brought us to the mechanic. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
shit.
we walked in. Dude, it was like a random Tuesday or Wednesday. We walked in. It's like noon. People are in the streets drinking, coming out of their cars, like
Yo, what up, Scotty?
Americans will call themselves expats if they move to like Mexico or the Philippines. But if a Filipino or American moves to the U.S., they call them immigrants. It's just like
Really close family member of mine who was born in Canada, and they came over here and shit. They had like a fucking green card type shit.
Mhm.
Are they in? What is it? Expat? Would they be considered an expat?
no, if you like the same way that if you went to like France or Spain, you wouldn't call yourself an expat. The person who comes from like a first world country and moves to a second or third world country, they call themselves expats. They just view themselves as higher than an immigrant.
That's kind of fucked.
Yeah,
That sounds a little racist. That little term you got there.
yeah. I mean, it is. It is what it is. It's part
Crazy.
of the fuck shit.
Fuck
But
those terms. Fuck those terms.
Yeah, Logan.
there was a
This
Filipino
late.
who
It's
came here.
It's a crazy world out there, man. Again, labor hierarchy. Labor hierarchy. Yeah, but Scotty, how's work,
Filipino who
dog?
moved here, and I think there was a Filipino that moved here, and he's Filipino. And
Yo, Aaron, drop
he was selling
a
fun
follow,
pills.
Aaron.
Fun pills to the Americans and the Europeans that were living here, and cartels profit margins. And let's just say he got really babysat by the cartel. Like they took him, and they haven't been able to find the dude because
maybe he got lost.
yeah, lost in the sauce.
He got some of those fun pills we were talking about.
Yeah,
That's fun. You're not talking about a Xanny 3000 or fucking like. Come on.
Percoholic.
That's actually insane, bro. That's literally insane. Like that's what scares me about those countries. But at the same time, I know if you're not like walking in with a camera, or you don't walk around with like a really nice like watch on or like nice like jewelry or something like that, you're probably gonna be okay. Especially if you know
Don's
somebody.
like, I'm not
You
missing
know
Yeah.
somebody listening. Nah, no,
I mean-
take the nice watch off. Leave that shit at your hotel.
Yeah. Dude, the truth of the matter is a lot of these cartel dudes, they have a vested interest in keeping it safe for tourists because they want to be able to have them come down, feel safe, and spend money. If you make it too dangerous where people don't want to come visit you when you have a tourism industry, then you're going to lose out. And it's not in their vested interest to have that be the case. Like,
So yeah,
I think
that
I've
makes
told
a
you
lot of
guys-
sense. Go ahead. Yeah.
I've told you guys this story about me going out to clubs here, and they'll sell you, like booger sugar. Like you just walk into the bathroom. You walk into the bathroom, and there'll be dudes who are in the bathroom asking you if you want booger sugar. And it's like, for me, no, I'm not interested in doing that. But they don't want to make the
Sorry,
block
it's like,
pop
except this one
because-
time.
Yeah.
There's one time I had like a fucking 8-ball of fucking blow. Yeah. That was a crazy night. Yeah.
But they don't want it to be. They don't want it to be dangerous because it's gonna ruin their bottom line.
But here's the thing. That is a really good point, and I feel like the world should work like that. Well, I mean, not should, but I feel like it makes the most sense logically. But then explain to me why, playing devil's advocate here, why there's so much like drugs mixed with like
He's
fentanyl.
advocating for the devil.
Because that kills your customer. If your customer can't come back because they just OD'd on fent, like that's kind of the opposite of what you want. You want to keep your customers around.
But it's
Keep them all
actually a
addicted.
thing, Dario, if you want to get into it.
Sorry, say that again.
So your point was that these dealers are thinking about the kind of bottom line. They're thinking about the long term, where they have like a kind of a business mind. They're like, all right, we want to keep our customers coming. We want to make these tourists feel safe, so they're going to buy more from us. We want to keep the customer flow going and going. But on the other hand, playing devil's advocate, not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, on the other hand,
No, you
why
can
did
say
they
he's
make
wrong.
so much? Yeah, fuck you. No, I'm playing. So, why, on the other hand, they literally mix the fucking shit with Fent, which kills the customer, and they keep losing customers because if customer ODs on fentanyl, they can't go buy more from you. So, do they have that mindset?
They do. So one thing that people don't realize is cartels will have their own rules and law sets on what is permissible and what is not. There's here in Mexico City, there's this thing called the Cartel de Unidad, which is the unionized cartel, and there's a couple of other ones, right? Like you have different factions, and you can't control everything, but there's the unionized cartel, and they have a rule set here where if you start to cut your stuff with some of the Fent, you're going to get in trouble, tortured, or put under. That's not with every group. The unionized cartel is 11 different groups that came together
Yeah, the
to
union.
kick
That's
Colombians
crazy.
out. That's what they call themselves. They call
Oh.
themselves the unionized cartel. They
That's so funny. They think they have jobs.
yeah.
They like, we need to have rights. We need to get a union together and have our rights as drug dealers. That's so funny. to me.
They came together and kicked up the Colombian cartel, and they all formed together here in Mexico City, and they call themselves Cartel de Unionad, unionized cartel, and they have a problem with people trying to cut stuff. But what ends up happening is the closer you get to the northern part of the country, drugs that are going to be exported into the U.S., you have less control because you have the end man, not the middleman at that point, the end man who is selling it to Americans that are going to do whatever they want with it. So not always. I mean, I can't speak to it. I don't do these fun pills, and I'm not out here testing them. But
He might.
Why are you lying? Lying like
he
a
might.
motherfucker.
He might. You never know.
He's like I only do them off TikTok.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I'm joking. Nah,
I'm a pretty
listen. Dare does not do any drugs that I know of.
yeah, dude, I mean, I like the
How do you wait
green
in this
plant.
game?
I like the green plant, and I like my tequila. That's really about it. Outside of that, I'm not the biggest fan of the fun pills. But
You don't
the
do
truth
like
of the matter is
3 lines of blow one night. You don't just like on a slow Thursday. You don't just fucking pop that shit.
Not me. But what ends up happening is the closer you get to the north, the less control ends up happening with what ends up like with the final product. People will receive a product once it crosses the border and then to cut it with what they want to cut it because it'll increase their profit margins. I bet you there are people in the north who are the final distributor, and they're like, all right, cool. I got 10 pounds. Out of this 10 pounds, I can turn it into 15 and then sell it to an American, and they'll turn it into, like 17, but they're cutting it with stuff. But
if you really want to make money, you get some fucking baby powder in there and you just like cut it up half.
some flour.
That's how you really make the money in this shit. Listen, all of us licensed TikTok fans, you want to make money selling drugs? Listen, bro, infiltrate the dealer, find the supplier. You'll be good.
Gotta Google how you wait in Fallout.
Oh, you guys don't know that reference? Fuck. Oh my god, am I old?
No.
21 Jump
Oh my
Street.
God, am I
Infiltrate the
old?
dealer, find a supplier.
Yes, you are old, John. Not John.
Ice Cube, bro. Ice Cube. 21 Jump Street. Fuck.
Dude, the second movie when Jonah Hill hooks up with his daughter and he high fives him, that shit's hilarious.
Oh, 22 Jump Street? Oh shit!
Yeah,
I
have you
didn't
not
know
seen the
Sit
that.
second
down in
one?
a chair.
He hooks up with his own daughter.
No. Jonah Hill hooks up with Ice Cube's daughter.
I was about
That's
to
so
say,
dumb.
holy shit. Damn.
Oh, dude, Logie was like, got it. I'll make sure to use those tips. Oh, no.
When you go to school tomorrow and your teacher's talking, you just get up in class. You say, "Infiltrate the dealer, find a supplier." She'll know what you're talking about. She'll think you're really smart.
um, that's tough. We are trying to positively
tough.
influence the youth. This is not. This is not a. This is.
Oh yeah, my
This
He
is
bad.
not the
said will
intention.
do. He said will do. Oh, no.
Yo, this
Not
kid's got a
John
good
is
head on his shoulders. He's got a really good head on his shoulders, bro. Yo, you're
not
going
John is
places.
creating a supervillain.
You
Not
might be
John is
going to
creating a
Mexico.
supervillain.
You might be going to Mexico, but you're definitely going places. I'll tell you that.
Oh Jesus
Actually,
Christ! Dude.
I wanna ask the chat this. So I'm gonna ask this to Logie and Scotty. Logie, as a pretty young dude, what do you think is one of the biggest issues that are facing your age group? And then Scotty, as somebody who's our age, what is something that you feel is a major factor facing our group?
Like you
And
said,
then anybody else in
vapes.
the chat? Vapes? Yeah, vapes ain't good.
That's actually insane. I would probably say being chronically online. I feel like a lot of the younger generation. I mean, I have like siblings who are younger, and they're just like literally just online like all day long, like Snapchat, fucking Instagram, like literally just do not get outside as much as we did as kids. And I feel and definitely not as much face to face social interaction, which is really important. You kind of lose that. You kind of lose out on that, especially. And then with COVID, holy shit, they're gonna be fucking weird when they grow up.
Yeah, I think I could see that. I think all of us are kind of chronically online. I think me and you not John, are pretty chronically online.
I would say I'm on my phone a lot, but usually I'm just like fucking checking to see how like work is going. Mostly, I know George claims he's not, but I like sends us fucking Instagram reels all day. So
No, I'm on my phone
I think
all
I
the
think there's
time,
some
but
cat there.
I'm on my phone all the time, but I'm not dialed into the things. I'm on my phone looking at dumb rails, and like that's the only thing I do.
Yo, this dude's like, I'm never online, bro. But
Yeah,
meanwhile, I'm getting this
but
insane
I'm
fucking
not
reels.
online like into like the drums that's going on. Like I'm literally looking at dumb videos.
The zeitgeist.
Yeah, I'm not online looking at that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm online mainly when it's dark. You go outside, Logie.
Definitely not
Yeah,
as much as us as kids.
you
When
touch
we were
grass
kids, we
every
have
now
our
and then.
fucking bikes and just like ride around and shit. You'd be outside like literally from the time you got out of school all the way up until like dark. And then when you came in, you were like playing with like puzzles and shit. I don't know. I was not on like fucking Xbox like that.
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely lying.
Scotty, drop what you think. What's issue for our age group? People who are like 25 to 30.
Damn, he just doxed our age. It's crazy.
Damn, bro.
Bro, you've doxed my name like 40
That's
times
me.
in this conversation. I don't think
You
it's
doxed
different.
my name.
Called you Jorge.
Oh
Yo.
yeah. Oh shit,
This
dude.
nigga fucking
Oh,
rocket
shit.
scientist.
Yeah, yeah. You hear this guy?
Only a rocket scientist is gonna figure that one out.
Yo, you said what's the biggest problem in our generation?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to hear what you got to say because I got a pretty good one.
No. Good for you, Logie. Keep biking, man. I mean, don't just stop. Don't just stop at being outside. Hang out with your friends too. Scotty says he thinks that our biggest issue in our generation is alcohol. I think I agree. I think that's with every generation. I don't think we drink more than
Damn. I
than
drink freaking 4 weeks.
Scotty
That's good.
himself, like, yo, I was lit last night.
He's like,
I was like, I'm lit right now.
Yeah, Scotty's like, what you mean? I'm lit right now.
He's like, I don't know about y'all, but this is me trying to reach out for help.
He's like, I'm getting on it.
Listen, Scotty. I want you to Google alcohol abuse.
Bro, Logan responded with, "What about
Alex.
the Irish? What about the Irish?" He's like, yo, don't blame me. I'm Irish.
Oh yeah, the Irish, bro, you're fucked, bro. You're like automatically an alcoholic.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
No stereotypes.
like you literally eat potatoes and you're a fucking alcoholic. That's those two things.
I think.
Wait,
I think
actually,
Scotty.
no.
I think
You don't
I think
eat
you're onto
potatoes
something.
because you there's a famine, so you don't eat potatoes. So you want potatoes, but you can't get them.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Well, let me say what I think my biggest issue with our generation is, and we've chatted about this a little bit
Bottle
offline.
caps.
Is I think one of our biggest issues is
I keep thinking guys, hey.
fake. I think trying to be social media influencers and fake entrepreneurship. We have a private chat that we send videos to each other.
Darher said like, yo, the shit we're doing now, big problem. Big problem. We need to fucking cut that shit out.
I think there's a big issue. I think there's a big issue with our generation where you can't have a hobby and
There's like, we need to get real jobs.
Let me finish. I think a lot of people in our generation feel like they have to be an entrepreneur. They have to have side hustles. Like I think side hustle culture is a bad thing that has perpetuated our generation. Most people can't feel like they have a hobby and they can just enjoy it for themselves. As soon as you get good at something, you feel like, how am I going to turn this into a business? How am I going to profit off of this? Instead of it being like, yo, sometimes I get off of work and I like to cook, or I like to draw, or I like to, like make animations.
Yeah, it's because we're broke, bro. It's not our fault. Like, we are the only generation in American history that's not going to make more than our parents. Like they've been telling us that since we were like 8 years old, and they're right.
That doesn't mean that everything that you do has to be a form of income.
No, it definitely doesn't. But when you're struggling,
you know what?
You can have things for yourself and just enjoy it.
But I feel like not having money makes you want to like put your time into making money. So when you have money, which I'm sure if you're talking like that, you're probably doing pretty well. I think that it's like literally like if you don't have anything, you're gonna you really try to everything I should try to make something work out of something because I'm just trying to make it work. So I kind of see Slice's point.
No, I think so. I mean, Scotty also agrees with you. He's saying true, but also the way everything is so expensive. You're right, but I think what ends up happening is when you don't have time for yourself to do things that you enjoy, you end up having mental health issues. You're going to be more stressed out because you go home from your 9 to 5, and then your 5 to 9 starts. And then you start working on something that should just bring you joy, but it doesn't because it's stressful, because it's something that you're trying to build an income off of. Like I think you guys are right that we're facing more economic difficulties than anybody that our parents or our grandparents faced, but we're not going to resolve that by turning our passions into income. Sometimes you need to have things that allow you to escape, and people don't do that. People don't have that ability to find something that changes their mood throughout the day. If I come home from a shitty 9 to 5 and then I go grind for the next 5 hours and I'm awake until 10 p.m., all I've done from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., 13 hours of working, that's not good for your mental health. And especially if it's something that you enjoy doing, I think it'll zap the happiness from that
activity.
That activity. You have to have something to do for yourself. I think you guys are right. We don't have the same economic strength that our parents and grandparents had, but we also don't have the time to have that mental fortitude where you get to rejuvenate from doing your shitty job, or even if you love it, but you go home and then you're like, I gotta figure out the next hustle. That's not. I don't think that's personally healthy.
It's not.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
Again, it's the situation that we're in, and I agree that the answer isn't just make a side hustle out of everything. I think we need to change the policies. But people we struggle to look at things from a systems based perspective, and we just think like, oh, I gotta get it on my own, like everyone for themselves, like, and instead of seeing like, oh, this is a problem that everyone is dealing with, and we need to band together to solve it. We're like, I'm gonna just get rich and like make sure I'm good.
Yo. So you mentioned something about us not having time. I actually think I disagree with that, and because I think nowadays I think we have too much time on our hands. It's the opposite. So think about
John's
50,
like, I'm
60
up, I'm chilling, I got hella time.
Like, talk about yourself, bro.
So basically, think about this, right? 60 years ago, okay, first of all, delivery service like a Grubhub, that was not really like every restaurant basically damn near didn't deliver, so you would save time there. What about okay, all these? I was just talking to my grandma today, and we were talking about checks. Like she brought out her fucking checkbook, and she was like, "Yeah, when I want to make a purchase, I have to drive to the bank, and I go give him my check. I write out my little check, and I give it to the fucking cashier, and then I come back home. We have online banking now. Everything's so streamlined. A lot of the little things in life that just like take up time and shit like that. There's
Mhm.
there's somebody who comes out with a business to be able to speed that up and buy you back your time. Amazon, instead of having to go buy everything from a
Oh,
store,
this gun
every little
sucks.
thing you want, you literally get that shit same day delivery or day after. I think with the technology nowadays, literally, I think we have too much time and too much time that's put into social media. Where I kind of goes back to what I was gonna say about what I think the 25 and 26-year-olds and like the 20 to 30-year-old generation is lacking is too much time on social media comparing to other people's lives, also
Okay, but
losing connection with each other
I
basically
think
because
you're also talking about microtransactions in
Oh,
time.
yo, this guy
Like,
is.
I don't think that's the majority of time that took up for your family. Like, your grandma driving to go drop off a check isn't the same as working a 9 to 5 from home, and when you get off, maybe you have an hour or two of other emails left, right? Like the nice thing about previous times in history was that people were able to clock in and not expected to work past that because you didn't have internet access. If you worked a factory job or you worked a job at a no matter what it was, you were expected 9 to 5. Some people had to pull overtime, but the moment you got home, you were disconnected. Nowadays, I'll go home and I'll receive emails, and then I'll be like, I'm obligated to respond to these emails because I'm not technically offline. I still have connection. My timing hasn't fully been disconnected because I still have a connection to my phone. But I agree with you. I think we spend more time online. I think people take a lot of micro breaks. You have a 15-minute window between meetings. You hop on Instagram and then you compare yourself to social media influencers. I think that's a real thing. And I think comparison is the thief of joy. Like I think that's a big factor. Like you compare yourself to other people. You're sitting in a cubicle. You have 15 minutes to scroll, and then all of a sudden you feel depressed because you see somebody else who you don't know what they're doing in that moment, but you see them upload something and they're in a yacht in Cyprus. Like that comparison is a big thief
no
of your joy.
no
I think you're onto it as well.
I do hear you with what you're saying, microtransactions, but they do add up. First, that's the first point. Like they do add up over time, and also you even brought up a great point. 50, 60 years ago, not like fucking damn near like 25 to half the population could work from home, where you don't have a commute. You know, like a lot of
Hmm.
people's commutes are an hour, 45 minutes.
Mine is
That's
an hour.
every single day. So if you can work from home, you save that time. So in our case, Slice would have an additional 2 hours of his day of free time if he worked from home.
But
Two
also
full hours, that
the
adds up.
minority of people.
That's 10 hours a week of extra free time you have.
Um, Yeah, no, Scotty, you're 100% right. We have to live our own lives, not what we see on the internet. I agree with you on that. But going back to what you were saying, not John, we don't we're thinking about a minority group of people who are able to work remote. At the end of the day, the only group of people who can work remote are
I don't
people
think
who
it's the
work in
minority.
tech.
I'm not
It is
gonna
a
lie.
minority. No. I mean, the truth of the matter is, it is a minority. If unless you work in an industry that doesn't require you to be in person, it's a minority. You can't be a remote mechanic. You can't be a remote doctor. You can't be a
Yes,
remote.
you can. Yes,
You
you
can't be
can.
a remote physician.
Remote. You heard of telehealth?
Or like ZocDoc. Yeah, but you know
That's
what?
huge.
You know what the truth of it is? Those places like ZocDoc or telehealth, they have to go into facilities because they have to be able to do testing on patient work. It's not as remote as you think it is. And then even the places that are remote, they have hybrid policies. I'm applying to jobs right now. A lot of them have hybrid models. You're in the office 3 days a week. You have 2 days off. But I work in tech where I could, as long as I have Wi-Fi, I'm good. Not everybody has that option. I have a friend who's a physical therapist. He can't do that. I have a friend who's a teacher. They can't do that. I have friends who are firefighters. They can't do that. You're a cop. You can't be a remote police officer. You know what I mean? Like you
There,
can't
there are
shoot people.
certain jobs, but I just looked it up, right? So okay, somewhat of what we're saying as of 2023, about 12.7% of full-time employees from the United States work from home, but additionally 28.2%, so damn
Yes,
near
John,
one
get the
third
Google out. Let's go.
one third of all employees follow a hybrid model from working both from home and the office, right? So
That's still all
that
right, but
that has a
that
lot of
still
time. That's
leaves
one third
that still
of the
leaves seventy
population of the
percent of
United States.
people. That
That's a
still leaves
lot of
seventy
fucking
percent of,
people.
but it still leaves 70% of people having to go into the office.
Still, all those microtransactions is honestly, I don't know. I just think we have, honestly think we have too much time because okay, you're trying to say that people back in the day weren't stressing, like they get home and they disassociate from work, right? That's kind of what we were just talking about. You think about the nuclear family, the patriarch of the family literally comes home and he comes home from work, he's all stressed out and shit like that because he has to pay all the bills, and the chick's fucking cooking or some shit and she's cleaning whatever. The kids are playing, watching TV, and this dude's stressing out the whole night because he's like, fuck, like I have no money. Even then, he has no money because it was like a one person was paying for everything,
Yeah,
right?
one income
now
household.
now you have now you have a lot more dual income household income things. So I don't know if it's really changed that much. I think people still stress about it. It's just now people just there's more of a grind culture because inflation is going way faster than the wages.
Yeah, and we don't have the ability to have a single income household anymore. I think that plays a big factor into it. I don't think you're necessarily wrong. All I'm saying is I don't think you
Depends how much you make.
are. Yeah, all right, George. Yeah, you could be a bajillionaire and not have to have your wife
Like
work.
shit,
All
George.
right. No, what I'm trying to say is I don't.
Is that you?
I don't think you're wrong, not John. All I'm saying is most people don't have the luxury to work from home, which still adds on to those old school type of stresses that we have. But it adds on to what we're saying. It's compounding. If 70% of the people can't work remote, but then they still have to have those microtransactions, they can't rely on Amazon to deliver their groceries because they're at work when those groceries will be delivered. So they have to go to the grocery store on their way home. It's a factor, and that's only 30% of the people can have that luxury, whereas 70% still have to wake up at 6 a.m. so that they can be ready by 7 to travel for an hour to get to work at 8:30. And then on top of that, those microtransactions, having to go home to, or having to go physically to the grocery store, having to still cook for themselves, and you can't rely on a one household income. I think that's what I'm trying to say is it's compounding now because you can't be a one household income um, without it like impacting your life. It could just be that one person used to go be the breadwinner, one person could stay home. But now it's both of you guys have to do that. Both of you guys have to spend an hour or an hour and a half commuting.
Oh
Now
my god.
both of you guys are making less money. Like I think what I'm saying is it's more compounding.
John's like,
Can you
unless you're up.
can we just a picture if everything was like fucking milk was like 12 cents, like 20 cents.
I'd be up.
And
I'd be
yo,
up.
you come home to your wife, bro. You come home to your wife and she's like, the house fucking smells good. Everything's fucking clean, and you're
I
just
got
like
hella sense.
in
Not
a
a lot
really
of
good
dollars, but
mood.
hella sense.
Like imagine how nice
Scotty's
that
like,
would be.
yes. Scotty's like, yes. I can't wait for those days.
Like that shit will never. Whatever is fucking Logie will never see that shit again. We won't even see
Oh,
that
this dude
shit.
doesn't even know about that. He's 13. So I'm assuming if he's 13, his parents aren't crazy older than we are. So his grandparents are probably as like the age that our parents are.
He was born
You
in
know?
20. He was born in 2010, 2011.
Oh, that's
That's
crazy. That's
crazy.
crazy.
That doesn't make you feel old.
Oh
that
my
does make
God.
me feel old, bro.
So you know, so literally like fucking trying to think, like I think the first Transformers he might have
2011.
not. Oh shit, so he was born when the first Transformers movie came out. That was when he was literally coming out the fucking badge.
Dude, I was already
John
older
really
than
knows how to
me
put
by the
it.
time he
John
was
knows
born.
how to put it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, everyone's saying I feel old now.
Uh,
Yeah, dude. You know what? The real issue is, Logie, what are you gonna do when you hit our age? By the time you're our age, you're gonna be taxed on breathing. People are gonna be like, "Yo, that's 17 breaths a minute. Get the fuck out of here."
Logie,
I
if
just-
we
I
do
just-
our job as the generation that we are, hopefully you won't be in that situation.
I just
We're
don't.
not going
I don't
to.
see.
We're not going
I don't
to.
see. I don't see it
Dar
fixing
has
itself.
little.
No, I
mean
agree with you
Dar.
because
Dar.
listen
Dar.
to this, bro. If you look at a graph of inflation versus wages versus rental costs in this country, the fucking inflation shit is scary,
Insane.
bro, and it's only getting worse. I don't know how the wealth gap between the people who are
It's
very
nuts.
very wealthy and the people who are little, it's just gonna get worse
Already
unless
pretty
we
bad.
fix something now. Unless we get rid of inflation. Okay, I'm sorry. Cut the fucking social programs a little bit. Cut the fucking military a little bit. Cut the fucking literally
The social
taxation a little bit.
programs are not the problem. The military certainly is. The military budget like eclipses the social program to the point where it doesn't exist.
We gotta take
So-
a little bit from everything. A little bit of bread from
No,
all
we
the
don't.
fucking.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Okay.
No, we don't.
Because we need to get rid of this shit. Because I rather would care about getting the inflation down. Because that'll just help the whole country if inflation goes down.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So Logie was like, basically, you could steal from. You can steal is what I'm saying. It's easier for you to risk it for the biscuit.
Yes, stealing is good.
Not wrong.
Stealing is like borrowing, but you just like forget to give it back. That's basically like stealing. So it's not
You heard
really,
it here
it's not really a-
first.
Yo, but
It's a form of
Slice,
borrowing.
what you were saying about hopefully our generation can make a change, I don't think we're going to be able to. I think one, we might be a little too far gone for us to be able to make a change for the next one or two generations behind us. I think we're going to all have to sacrifice. It's not going to be a cakewalk for us if we're making decisions. And then two, I think the same types of greed that plagued the generations before us are going to be the same things that happen after us. If we're talking about how easy it is to live when inflation wasn't a thing, but those people were still corrupt, imagine being a politician nowadays and your rent is like as exponential, but the money doesn't go as far, and some corporations offering you hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think as inflation increases, it's going to be easier to bribe people. I'm not saying for all of us. I think our generation is a little bit more socially
Dar is like,
conscious.
I'm definitely
What?
taking the bribe. Just saying.
Yeah, dude, no, I'm not.
He
No, I'm
said,
not.
yeah.
Bribery is good.
I'm taking a lobby. It's a little different. If a lobbyist hits my phone, I'll be like,
fucking
yo,
tomato,
guys,
tomato, bro.
we gotta take 15 seconds for our Coca-Cola ad. We gotta
Right,
take 15
tomato,
seconds
tomatoes, that ass,
for
John. It's
this,
the
for
same
this next
shit.
army
look at the
military
verbal
ad.
gymnastics this dude is coming out
Yeah,
with.
right?
Like it's quote unquote
It's the same
lobbying,
verbal
it's not
gym-
bribery.
It's the same verbal gymnastics that these politicians are doing. What do you mean? All I'm doing
Dar
is
is like, I'm trying to
regurgitating
join the
what's
club.
I'm trying to be a
Yeah.
politician. Yeah,
Right.
I'm trying to be the next Sleepy Joe Biden.
Yeah, you guys don't want me in power. I'm folding the moment I get elected. The moment I get elected, I'm be like, oh, all my constituents. Yeah, what'd you guys say? Yeah, never mind.
You're gonna be like
we
fucking
back
like
on that fracking.
blonde hair, blue
We
eyes.
back on that fracking. That's crazy.
But I think it gets harder to stand on your
Yeah,
morals when it's more difficult to survive.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. That's
We're
why,
fucked.
like,
We're
a lot of these countries, where it's difficult to survive, things are like in turmoil there because who has time for morals when you got to feed a family and there's no food? Like,
Yo, I just had a great idea, bro. We should create a business, okay? Where you have one person at the top, and then from there you get two people who go out.
Sounds like
he's
we're
trying to
talking
start a
about a
Ponzi
pyramid
scheme.
scheme.
Yeah, he's trying to start a Ponzi
It's,
scheme.
it's not a pyramid scheme. It might be in a pyramid shape. It might be in a pyramid shape, but it is not a
It might be in
pyramid
a
scheme.
pyramid shit.
Listen to me clearly, not a pyramid scheme. So basically, what they do is they'll steal from the top person's credit card line, and then from there they'll have their credit card line, and they'll pass down that money. So they'll pay their credit cards off. So then they'll have the two people below them steal from their part, and so on. Two people below them, two people below them. Not a pyramid scheme, right?
Corporations are
But
basically like labor-based pyramid schemes.
and then from there, we'll all get rich off of the credit card companies, and it'll be a better world. See, look at me. I feel like I should be like in charge, you know?
So you're talking about fraud.
No, I'm talking
He
about.
said, "Nah, never that."
I'm talking
Talking
about.
about making money.
I'm talking about a
Fraud.
legitimate business where you just happen to get stolen from, and you kind of just
It's just
like don't
happening.
know what happened. You know, you just kind of
Oh,
shit happens.
seems to be sweatshirts. Oh, I messaged you the other day about hopping on live with us. If you're still in the chat, let us know. We can send you a Discord link.
Yeah, seems to be sweatshirt. Grab that link. I started hearing John doubled voice.
Wait, what are you
Oh,
talking
bet,
about?
invite me. All right, so to give you some context, I'm gonna just call you sweatshirts. That's
Yo,
easier
Scotty,
send
join
her
the
name.
Discord, bro. Scotty, join the Discord. Let's get Scotty to join the Discord. Now it seems to be a sweatshirt. What are you talking about?
No, seems to be sweatshirt. I watched her live. She was bringing up a lot of good points. Is the reason why I wanted to shoot her a message.
This man is not serious, is he?
Well, now we're talking about fraud, but originally we were chatting about
Nah, John, this man is not serious, right?
Well, yeah, he's not
Scotty.
serious about it, but we were chatting about how difficult it is to survive in this century as a millennial or a Gen Z. I mean, let us know what you think. I'll shoot you a message on to join the Discord, but drop a comment real quick if you're still on here about what do you think is the one of the most difficult things for your age group to deal with in this day and age.
I'm still
Price of groceries and housing. You're not wrong.
no way.
Nah, they make a good point actually.
Do you think there's something that we can do? I mean, obviously, like we're not old enough, all of us yet, to be in full power. Like, I mean, there's young politicians nowadays, like AOC. But do you think that there's anything that we can do as a generation to make a change on that? Homie said anarchy. That is 100% slice of life's opinion as well. If
No,
it
it's
was up
not,
to him,
dude.
he'd
That
be
is
like,
not.
You know-
that is
you know what's
not-
kind of
slice,
funny?
Slice of life is like, yo, bring back the guillotine.
Ye-
What's kind of
No,
funny
no.
is we
I do not
attract.
advocate
Oh,
that
Roby's the same
violence.
way. Assassinate the president. Yo.
Change the laws yourself. That would be a dictatorship.
All right.
Military
I'm
one.
gonna drop.
We kind of attract like what we
But out there, yeah.
like who we kind of you know are kind of like our fans are kind of similar. I fuck with that.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, like you know we got seems to be, and then we got Logie. Like we got some regulars here. Like it's definitely we definitely got some characters.
Seems to be needs to show their ID.
Really?
So does IOI, to be honest. I don't know who that person is.
Yo, IOI is dead ass like always in the chat, bro. Like literally
I'm
does not
saying.
like it's crazy. The minute the chat starts, IOI
IOI
is
is
like,
right there. Like, that's crazy.
I say we got a real fan.
Never says anything.
Never
Yo,
says
that's
anything, but
insane,
is
bro.
always
Yo, seems to be
watching.
sweatshirts answered your question and said race war. That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Is this a crash out person that we need?
I think so. I think we should get him in Discord, bro.
We used to have
We
race
don't have
wars
a-
at my high school. Crazy.
You said how
race war
you said
drafts.
no, your question was how do we fix all this shit, and they said fucking race war. That's insane, bro.
Who said race war?
Seems to be.
Oh, I think I missed this.
Bro. Keep asking more
Logie
questions,
said
though.
Logie said JFK style, not Donald Trump style.
We do not advocate for political violence.
Yo, Logie, I know you're a kid, but you're kind of funny. No Chris Tyson. No Chris Tyson.
Oh, so you're fond of Loki? Yeah, Loki, you're fond of him?
John,
don't-
please,
I mean, that's a
please,
funny
please,
joke.
John, let's not go down this road.
That's a good joke.
Just trying to keep my job. Not the year. Yeah, that's crazy. That gets me every time.
Yeah, sometimes I just
so
be in that mood, bro. I'd be a stupid ass mood.
That's so stupid. It's a crash out here.
Yo, keep asking the chat questions. I fuck with the answers. Minus the race war shit. That was kind of weird.
I don't see that. Where is that?
Oh,
I
I just see dethrone the government, and then price of groceries.
I don't know. It was there though. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I tried to get a link to message you to invite you, Scotty, but Discord is like is acting up.
Oh, actually, all right. If we did have a race war, who do you think would win?
Definitely. After I've seen the shooting Olympic
Scotty,
shit,
look on
definitely
Facebook.
Definitely the Japanese. They scare me. They scare me with how good they are shooting fucking rifles.
Scotty, look on Facebook.
We could do what we did again. I think we could wipe them out pretty quickly.
Oh, yo, Hiroshima style.
Here again, we have another example of Daher identifying with the colonizers.
Why I gotta use my whole government?
Of
Yo,
Daher.
This is the worst sense.
Of Daher
worst
identifying
use
with the
for the
colonizers.
government. You were like, yeah, you use my whole government, and you were like, yeah, this guy here, he lives on one.
He's with the ops. He's with the ops.
Yeah.
He lives on 107 Aurora Drive. I don't know who would win. That's a great question. And maybe Australians.
Scotty said Asians. You know, honestly, I think it depends on who has the best tech. I think whoever has the best fighter jets is gonna win.
So the whites.
Yo, seems to be sweatshirt said Somali pirates, bro.
Where are you seeing this? Am I behind on this chat? Because first of all, that makes me feel very proud as a Somali pirate.
I'm not a Somali pirate.
Well, they would rule the seas, right?
Yeah, we got that Navy.
Yo, that's actually insane.
Where are you seeing this? I don't see this in the chat at
It
all.
literally it says Logie Pierogi are
Logie
smarter,
Pierogi.
and then below that seems to be said Somali.
No. Well, seems to be sweatshirts. Check your DMs. We sent you a link to the Discord. Does anybody have to
That's bugging.
approve the Discord for anyone to join?
No, I think
Also-
people can just join.
Happy to hear the Somali pirates. as a current Somali pirate myself.
Oh
You heard it
shit!
here first,
Shout
folks.
out all the Somalis, bro. Shout out Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips was not Somali.
Yeah, he wasn't the Somali. He was the one that got
No,
captured.
no. Well, he had some
fucking
boys that were Somali pirates.
No, he
Some of his
didn't.
boys,
I don't know if you can call them his boys.
like they like they kind of went through the trenches together. You know what I mean? They came from the trenches. That's a good question. Though. Who would win? Yo. I was gonna hold on. I forgot what I was gonna ask. Fuck. All right, keep going. I had a really good question though.
No, go for it.
No, I forgot it. That's what I was trying to say. Keep going. I completely forgot my question. It was really good though.
I said, just trust me. It's really good. It's really good.
Okay, trust me.
Testing. Can y'all guys hear me?
Yo, Scotty,
Oh,
what's up,
scared.
bro?
Oh, we got Scotty.
God,
Word,
see.
guys.
Oh, I
What
know
the
this is about to be
fuck?
degenerate.
Scotty, you gotta stay in the. You gotta stay in the stream though, so you can add to the views. Come
I'm
on
still
now.
here. I am still here. What do you mean?
Also,
What do you mean,
Logie,
brother?
we would you're underage. We're not doing that. If you're not 18, you ain't joining. No, Chris Tyson.
Yo, no,
But
say
why
you're 18,
not?
bro. Just say you're 18, bro.
No, fuck that. Oh,
John, stop it.
yo, not John, get out
I
of
was on Jeffrey's Island.
Epstein.
All right,
Yo,
Scotty. As soon as you join, we might have to kick you out.
Oh shit! My bad.
Within 2 seconds.
Scotty,
Within 2
Scotty,
seconds.
crash out before you get kicked. Crash out real quick and say the craziest shit you could think of. Like
I
5
would.
seconds. Say
Don't
the
tempt me.
craziest shit.
Don't tempt me. I'm not actually trying to get kicked. Don't tempt me now.
Do it.
Scotty, it's been a while. I miss you.
do
Homie.
it.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great, man. I wish you was there for Ashley's little party, man. I had the food there. It was pretty good.
Oh, he actually knows
Nice.
this dude. Oh shit.
Yeah, he actually knows.
Oh shit, my bad. I thought you were some random. Don't do that. Do not crash out.
I'm not gonna crash out like that. Shit, I might as well start gaming now. I don't know what game I'm about to throw on.
Oh shit. So, yo, Scotty, who do you think if you could pick a race that would win in a race war?
I
you
said the
think's, like-
Asians, hands down.
Who do you think's getting the gold medal?
Hands, Asians, hands down. I'm sorry.
All
The
right,
blacks,
why?
they're very athletic, and they can do a lot
Man
of
said
physical
the blacks,
things.
the Asians.
The colored people.
The colored folks.
Yo.
But
It's
honestly,
insane.
I personally think that if we had a race war, would win because they're smarter than most of everybody.
Hey, here comes the
They invest their
stereotypes.
money very well, and
Chat,
then on top of that,
that
when
does
it comes
not
down,
reflect the views of this channel.
You don't
Just
think
disclaimer.
the fucking like
Right.
you don't think the Germans just have that shit in their DNA, like fucking wiping out everybody else? You don't think they just like
well, they
Yo,
have
this
the
dude's
wiping out
bugging.
parts, right? Yes, they
This
can
dude's
wipe out
bugging.
people. Yes.
Oh my god.
like they're,
Alright.
you know, like you're just like
I
I
feel
don't know,
bad for starting
might be
this
hormones or
conversation.
some shit, but I feel like it's just like something in the
Feel bad
DNA
for my
changed
career.
around like 1942.
No, not at all. They got the super serve, the super
John's
soldier serum.
bugging.
What do you mean?
John said something in the DNA.
Do you remember how living in past you had like fucking like Homo sapiens and they evolved from
Dude.
apes and they evolved from blah blah blah. Like over time, like humans adapt, and I think just in that particular region of the United States around that time, something in the DNA was altered in a particular way that made them really good at wiping out everybody else. I don't know.
Yeah, it's called Hitler.
Could be wrong. I didn't say all that. I just think that the Germans
I said it.
crash out, muddy.
But realistically, what he did was completely wrong.
Here's
I'm
what I
not
will
gonna
say.
justify that
If
shit.
we did
Please don't justify it.
something,
Instead of a
You
justify.
can never justify that. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, you just put it in
You
moving
listen.
on.
You can justify anything. Doesn't mean you'll be right, but you could justify it.
Yeah, words.
There
words can
are
be quite
people.
a thing.
There are people who are out there trying to justify it. You know
Wait,
what I mean?
who did Logie? Who are smarter? Here come more stereotypes. Chad, get ready.
Type shit.
I don't think the chat's ready for it.
I think if we if we did have if we have a war, I'm jumping team and
Damn.
I'm joining whatever team Brazil is on.
Wait, why you gotta jump team?
Bro,
Team who's
I'm
on?
not gonna tap you.
I got
I mean,
myself
that's
in
how
a
I
death
feel.
Tap
loop.
you. I'm going to hang out with the Jewish people, bro, because you know they'll be
Team Brazil.
protected, dog.
Oh no!
Hey,
Oh
I
I might actually
no!
hang out with them.
I got myself in a death loop.
They own
John,
almost
stop.
everything.
Yo, get ready to have
John,
your
stop.
bank account fucking.
No, okay, John, stop. John, stop.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Yeah, listen,
No,
I'm just saying you
stop.
might need a Jewish person
Those
to
are
be a friend. I'm
anti-Semitic
just saying.
stereotypes. Stop.
Have you not watched Family Guy?
Yo, yeah, Family Guy is
Dude,
my.
I
I grew up
keep
on that.
got myself in a death loop.
He
Oh,
didn't
what
say,
happened?
he said bagel account. He said bagel
Dude,
account.
Dude, why'd the stream end?
Because I literally got banned.
Oh shit, did you really?
Yeah, just now. Live access removed.
Get the fuck out of here.
God.
As soon as I join, it would happen as soon as I.
No, it's
I swear
because
to
John
God,
said Jewish people are gonna wipe your bank account, dude.
no, I said they'll be protected, but because you're doing this, see, look what happens, bro. Fuck.
It says
Oh
violation
my
reasons,
That's what
hate
happened.
speech and hateful behavior. Yep, here it is.
Wow.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't even get to the juicy parts
Now,
yet.
now you
Damn.
gotta put. Now you gotta put an appeal. You gotta put an appeal in. Oh my God, it's actually insane.
For real. Oh, I
Why
don't
Why
even
did
got
we
no
get into
holes
this
in.
conversation?
You know what?
Holy shit, who brought this shit
Are
up?
we?
You can't wind me up. I gotta start going.
Facts. I haven't started drinking yet. Okay, I did, but still, leave me alone.
What? So what's
That
the what does it say you can appeal?
My bad.
Yeah, can you actually change that? Like, do you
Well,
need
I
me to go
just
back up or some shit?
I just submitted an appeal.
Okay, cool.
Nah, they're definitely not gonna accept that shit. Oh my God.
And then,
I forgot we're on TikTok actually. Like I forgot like the rules of TikTok with that shit. Oh my God.
I actually never knew the
Oh my
rules of
God.
TikTok. I'm so sorry.
Are we still live on criminal situation?
Fuck it, Kick. Yo, Kick, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I mean, if we're still
John,
live
no,
on,
you cannot do whatever the fuck
yeah,
you want.
you
We're
can say whatever.
not
Yeah, I'm done.
spreading
I'm done.
anti-Semitic
Nah,
stereotypes.
that just actually killed my mood. I'm not gonna lie.
If it's me, kick me.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly
the
fine with that.
platform's
I'll
still
watch you live, and I'll go back to chatting. Like that's bullshit.
Hate speech. How is that hate
What
speech?
hate speech?
Because
Though?
it's
No
a
one said anything hate.
stereotype, bro. It's an anti-Semitic stereotype.
But it's
That's
not.
why.
But I'm not even hating. I'm just saying they got
Doesn't
pulled.
matter what your intentions are. It's
True,
an anti-Semitic stereotype
Like
that's
like
that's
I'm not
been
I'm not
blasted
saying it's
into the
fucking.
airwaves.
I'm not like saying like they're fucking like bad for it. I'm just saying they got pulled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
But I would have never thought that would actually been
He's saying
flagged.
they got motion.
They got motion, bro. They got motion. That's like a good thing.
Okay.
It
Well,
really is.
I've made my position clear.
Yo, honestly,
Nah, I'm done.
Honestly,
I'm
what?
actually nah. From this day, I'm actually
that
done.
back
Nah, it's.
off.
I didn't know they'd take your whole shit like that. It's actually fucking crazy. How many strikes did you have in your account? Did you keep getting warnings?
No, but whatever.
But that's bullshit. What warning? So they just
No,
you just can't really.
I think I've gotten a warning once because I didn't have the 18 filter on. But then I put it on, but
Usually
But then again,
they
still
give you a
says-
warning.
it still says like, yeah, it doesn't matter if the filter is on, you can still get suspended if like
That's insane.
what
Oh
else
my God.
certain
That is.
things.
So how long do you?
I mean, that's
suspend-
fair. That's fair.
What the fuck? Fair? Oh my God, that's not fair at all.
It's their rules, though. It's their rules. We can't really argue
Fuck
with their rules.
fuck
You
the
feel me?
rules.
I agree with what
Nah,
you're saying,
I
but
think
you can't really do that.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair that like
Yeah, nah. That's
There-
not even funny. That's not. I
there
can't even
shouldn't
say.
be platforms that allow people to spread like hateful comments that could
Oh
be
my
to
God, I
the
literally was just
groups.
trolling. I
But again, we didn't
I
even
actually
have,
genuinely,
like, that much hate.
genuinely was trolling. Like literally was trolling. But fuck, they took that shit
And-
serious.
And that's honestly what trolling gets us. Truth be told, you
Oh,
know what I
shit.
mean? Shit, I'm in a game. Like that's trolling in general.
All right,
And
we're gonna
that's
call it there,
part of-
fellas.
Aww.
GG's,
Hey, yo,
GG's chat.
hit me up when next time you do this again. I would love to be part of this, and
Yeah.
I will watch what I say.
All right, bro.
Most definitely.
Catch y'all later.